Hello, my friends. So, if you're watching this video, you chose to do the influential person activity for our first part of our cultural project. If you did not choose the influential person activity, you don't have to watch this video. Okay, go back and watch the folktale video if that's what you chose. All right, influential person. So when I actually say that word influential, that just means a person who has really helped change part of their country or become really an important person for their culture or country. Okay. So you get to research about that person, an important person from your country. And these are the things that you might put into your Google Doc or a slide. So you can choose to either type everything up in a Google Doc, kind of like a research paper, or make it more of a presentation in a Google slide. So the first and foremost thing is you have to find an influential person, and maybe you already know of somebody from your country, or maybe you know of a famous person and you want to learn more about them, so you might choose that country based on them. Okay, and then you need to look up, do a Google search. What are some important accomplishments that your person has done? So that just means what are some important things that your influential person has done to help shape this country or change the country. Maybe there were discoveries that that person made, like somebody who was a scuba diver and discovered that there was a new species down in the deep, dark sea. Who knows? That's just an example. Maybe your person was an inventor and they created or invented something new. And then really you should put in there how they have changed the history for their nation, and how, what they're doing now. Maybe you can put a bunch of different things, put pictures if you want, but we do need a good amount of information as well. Okay, so let me give you an example. So here's my influential person example. I'm choosing Sweden as my country, and you can click here. Again, I'm going to put the slide deck on our Google Classroom so you can click on these links. And I'm going to show you what I did for my influential person. All right, and here it's loading. All right, so I chose Greta Thunberg. I actually don't 100% know how to say her last name. I think that's how you pronounce it. So she is a fabulous girl. She's from Sweden. Who is Greta? Okay, here's a picture of her. And I just put some bullet points. So I actually Googled and found some reliable articles that would give me this information. So I used a Time magazine article as one source, and then I also used a different magazine source. So Greta is 17 years old. She lives in Stockholm, Sweden. And she started learning about climate change when she was 8 years old. She has Asperger's syndrome, which she calls her superpower. And here's a picture of Stockholm, Sweden. And so now I'm not going to read through all of this, but I put a slide for Greta's important accomplishments. And really, Greta's all about climate change. She even became Time Magazine's Person of the Year back in 2019. And she's only 17. She won a climate change essay contest when she was only 15. And she made this hashtag popular, Fridays for Future. So if you're wondering what that is, you should look it up. And what has she done since all those accomplishments? Well, in 2019, she took off school completely so that she could travel around the world and speak to different governments around the world about climate change. She actually spoke in New York at the United Nations Climate Change Gathering. She refuses to fly on an airplane because of its carbon emissions, which hurt the environment. So she rode a boat from Sweden to New York, and it took 2 weeks. So what does Greta want? Why is she taking all this time off school? Why is she speaking at all these public events? So really what she wants is for the government to help reduce carbon emissions. And that's caused the world to gradually warm up. Some of you may have heard of global warming. These emissions come from use of fossil fuels like oil, coal, gas, like when we drive around in cars, airplanes, pretty much a lot of things that we do. So Greta really wants the government to spend more money on sustainable technology like these wind turbines or solar power so that our planet can be saved. And I just added in a quote by Greta, which is so good. You are never too small to make a difference. And that's Greta Thunberg. So that's my example of an influential person research project. It doesn't have to be super long. I think mine was it's only 7 slides. So that's an example for you to use. Hopefully you pick an influential person that you are interested in from your country and that I can hear about. So excited. Have fun.